This will be for our podcast. You just roll with me. There we go, an episode of our segmented podcast of Living the Good Life here, available on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, you name it. Thanks for listening. Of course, you can find us nationally syndicated as well, Living the Good Life show across the nation. You can also visit ltglshow.com to get all those details. Today marks another historic moment in the world of the NFL. I mean, and just kind of, I guess, giving everyone a little background info. It's pretty interesting. First of all, I'm a Giants hardcore fan. It doesn't get more hardcore than this.
That's because you traded out being a Ram fan when Georgia moved the team to St. Louis years ago.
Well, she broke my heart.
You quit on the Rams.
I had to go with the best player of all time, and that of course is Lawrence Taylor. But anyhow, Eli Manning today marks his retirement, and I think everyone was expecting to see this happen. And retiring after 16 years, Pop, absolutely tremendous. And just kind of giving everyone some stats and some information here on Eli Manning, because over the last maybe 4 or 5 years, people have been really hard on the guy, despite the fact that he's a 2-time Super Bowl champion. You know, he's so successful when it comes to not only business, the NFL, his statistics. He's a good guy. He comes from such a wonderful family. But, let's talk about this. 2 Super Bowl titles, 2 improbable Super Bowl titles. Both of the times they were underdogs. And, both of the times they were trailing. Both of the times, not only did he become MVP, but he also made some of the most amazing, most memorable throws a quarterback has ever done in a Super Bowl. He retires as at the age of 39, same age as me, believe it or not. Giving you a little bit of background, son of longtime New Orleans Saints quarterback Archie Manning, brother of the man, Peyton Manning. So he retired with over 57,000 passing yards, Pop. 366 touchdowns, the most in Giants history, by the way. Not only appearing in 2 Super Bowls, 4 Pro Bowls, 2 Most Valuable Player awards, and of course, not only that on his mantle, but the 2 championship rings on his hand of the Super Bowl titles, 2008 and 2012.
Yeah, another tidbit, the Giants acquired Manning via a draft day trade from the Chargers.
Yeah.
Manning had been the quarterback at the University of Mississippi, and he was the first pick in the 2004 NFL draft. And the Giants got him. The Giants went on to really have some great years.
I mean, really great success. Yeah. I mean, they had phenomenal teams. I mean, Eli obviously had some just tremendous defense behind him. Not only offense, but I mean, you have Hall of Famers. You have Michael Strahan behind him, really leading that brigade with Justin Tuck and the rookie at the time, Jason Pierre-Paul, and the list go on and on. But he certainly had some great people around him. But he's responsible, along with having a wonderful coach in Tom Coughlin, and some great words that we've seen over the last few days from Tom Coughlin himself, from some of his not only teammates like Victor Cruz and so forth, even some of his arch enemies, if you want to call them. From Tom Brady actually today, this morning, saying, "Congratulations, you've earned it. You're tremendous. You're a good guy, blah, blah, blah." And he also said, "By the way, I wish you didn't win those 2 Super Bowls." And one of those Super Bowls, by the way, came when the Patriots had an undefeated season. They also had Randy Moss, and Eli just took it from him. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to remember this, or both of these titles, forever. They're going to go into the history books. Now, you know, a lot of the people I mean, over the last few years, is he worthy of the Hall of Fame? People are just saying this. They're saying no. Some people say yes. I mean, what's your take on this? You've been around a lot longer than I have.
What do you mean? What's my take on what?
I need
to wake up.
Yeah, you do have to wake up, but you're on the phone.
Yeah.
Does he deserve to be in the Hall of
Oh,
Fame?
Absolutely. Yeah. No doubt about it. Just with the Super Bowl appearances alone, and the years played, and the yards compiled, absolutely. Look at that long, distinguished career.
I think he's totally deserving of being in the Hall of Fame.
You know, he's talking about the New York Giants.
What about a humanitarian?
Yeah. Oh, he's been great. So much charity work and visits to many hospitals and children. But nonetheless, I'm just thinking about the New York Giants football team. What great history. One of the oldest franchises in the NFL, and a storied story right there with the Giants himself. So many great coaches.
4 Super Bowls with that team.
Yep.
Overall. You know, just so everyone is aware of this too, this past season, he made $17 million just from the Giants. We're not talking endorsements. Making him the highest paid player in NFL history. How much money did Eli Manning make overall? $252 million. And I mean, you know, you could say he's not
a Hall of Famer.
He's not Drew Brees, or, you know, he's not even maybe his brother, Peyton
He's a Hall of Famer. I don't remember him really ever being seriously injured.
No, and he had, up until Ben McAdoo benched him like a moron that he is, he had the most consecutive starts as a quarterback.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
And he got hit hard many times.
What do you think he's going to do with the rest of his young life and career? Any indications of broadcasting?
I don't think he's
suitable for broadcasting.
I mean, look at I'm not one to talk. I mean, I've been critical of Tony Romo, and certainly people like him. Although Tony Romo does a good job. I don't necessarily know if Eli has that personality.
Is he a golfer?
I don't even know if he's a golfer. I know that his brother's a huge golfer.
We'll have to get
Dad's a golfer.
We'll have to get him on the show.
Yeah, we probably should.
I'll yell to my producer here, Chase!
But you know, I don't know when it will be, if it will ever be, when we see him enshrined into the Hall of Fame. Perhaps it will happen, but you know, I think he's given us as fans a lot to remember. It's going to be fun to watch over the years to see what happens.
What a great family, from Archie Manning to the 2 Manning sons. I'm thinking of you and your 2 sons. Who knows what the future holds?
Yeah, you never know.
Young Anderson's enjoying playing.
Well, speaking of the youth, I mean, what an inspiration Eli Manning is. Of course, what he's done as a humanitarian over the years, but you know, he was a leader. You know, you never heard any negativity away from the field, the gridiron. Guy was always positive, always good things to say, except for maybe some fans being very critical of his performance.
Well, yeah, if you're in New York, you're going to be.
I mean, he's 39
You're
years
going to
old.
be criticized if you cure cancer living in New York.
Yeah, it's tough there. But anyhow, that's kind of our take. And you know, we wish Eli great success going forward. I don't know what else he has in store for himself, but he truly gave me a lot of great, moments just watching as a fan, for sure.
Doing a little research, I was surprised to see that the great legend Vince Lombardi coached the New York Giants as the defensive coach.
Yeah.
And the great former Dallas Cowboy coach Tom Landry was in that organization. I think here at USC down the road from our broadcast studio, Frank Gifford played defense and offense, was a great quarterback at USC. And
I mentioned Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, LT.
Arguably the greatest ever.
You had a great steak dinner with him at the MGM Hotel in Las Vegas.
He was jealous of what we were eating, for sure.
We're having fun.
All right, of course, you can find us all over the internet, LTGL Show, all social platforms, as well as LTGL Show. And hope you enjoy this segmented podcast. More to come.
And again, on the regular radio broadcast, we start our coverage and countdown in August with the preseason interviews, workouts, games, and right through the Super Bowl every year.